It is 5:30, and I'm going to call this regular meeting of the McLean County Board to order on April 17th at 5:30. Welcome, everyone, and I'm going to call this to order, and then we're going to open with the invocation or moment of silence from Member Bell.
As we get ready to embrace Easter, Easter's a time of peace and healing. I would like to pray for all those that are sick and afflicted. Pray for our neighbors, our children, and also for this county board. May we find encouragement to fulfill our promise to the people, that we make good decisions, and that we become the people that matter so much. A special prayer for those that are dealing with breast cancer, that they find healing and strength to get through these challenging times. To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, if you'll call roll.
Beverly Bell. Lindsay Bloomfield. Absent. Mark Claus.
Present.
Leah Klein.
Present.
Alex Duffy. Absent. Sean Fagan.
Here.
Buck Farley.
Here.
William John Friedrich. Eric Hansen.
Here.
Val Lehman.
Present.
Brian Leffler.
Here.
Mike O'Neill. Adam Reeves. Jim Rogal.
Present.
Natalie Roseman Mendoza.
Present.
Jeff Tompkins.
Here.
Andy Zebarth.
Here.
Crystal Abel.
Here.
Corey Byrne.
Present.
Elizabeth Johnston.
Here. That's what I have. We have 18 present. That is a quorum, so we will proceed. Next up, we have item number 5, appearances by member of the public and county employees. Ms. Taylor, do we have anyone tonight?
Madam Chair, we've had no requests this evening.
Thank you so much. Moving on, we have 2 presentations tonight, and up is 6A, McLean County Facts, from a Mr. Rob Fazzini. I welcome you to the podium. It should be on and ready to go.
It is. In my term as president of the Chamber of Commerce many years ago, I would share a fact about McLean County every time I went to a lunch, a dinner, or a ribbon cutting. That was sort of the shtick. Let's get people in McLean County to know more about McLean County, to be proud of McLean County. And sharing all the facts was one way to do that. Eventually, I accumulated enough fun facts to make a full page, and you have a copy of that. If anyone hasn't got one yet, there's some at the desk. Last month, I gave a talk on how the failing College Hills Mall became a vibrant Shops at College Hills, a lifestyle mall, one where you shopped outdoors. This was a public-private partnership. It took the town of Normal, it took a developer, Cullinan Companies, and it took the banks. It was a $28 million project. It eventually was done on time within budget. And I say eventually, there were lots of things that happened in between, but it did get done, and it's still there, and it's still vibrant. Earlier this month, I'm a member of the Public Building Commission, and the chairman of the Public Building Commission and I thought it would be good if the other commissioners knew more about McLean County. We at the Public Building Commission help shape McLean County with financing projects. projects like the Animal Control Center. The Animal Control Center, by July, should be up and running. It's a $9 million project, and your county board has been integral in making that happen. In fact, Tony especially. Like the McLean County Chamber of Commerce and like the Public Building Commission, you folks also help shape McLean County. And it's good to know a little bit about how McLean County has been shaped in the past as you're going forward. So these fun facts will give you a little idea of some of the reasons we should all be very proud to be citizens of McLean County. How many of you in your wallet or your purse have a Visa card? I need to see your hands. Almost everybody. Back in 1974, the chairman of Bank of America, his name was D. Hock, had a credit card that was Bank of America, but he was a visionary. He wanted a credit card that wasn't just his bank's, but it was a broader one. And he fell in love with the term Visa because he thought that meant big, broad vista. So they did a search and found out they couldn't use the term Visa. Somebody already had it. It was the McLean County Bank in Bloomington. And they actually had the trademark. They paid $300 and officially became the owner of Visa, and it stood for Vacation Incentive Savings Account. Do you know where that bank is? It's on Route 9, right across from Bloomington Country Club, that one in the corner. Well, it turns out that Chairman Hock wouldn't give up. He said, I want it. So he sent his executives from San Francisco to Bloomington, Illinois, to talk to the president of McLean County Bank. And by the time they finished talking, the president of the bank got a lot more money than $300 to transfer the term Visa to Bank of America. So as you're carrying that Visa card around, recognize that came from here. Which state in the United States is almost smaller than the county that you live in? In fact, it's 29 square miles bigger than the county. It's the state of Rhode Island. We're almost bigger than one of the states in this country. And we are, out of the 102 counties in Illinois, we're the largest landmass of all 102. Back in the 1960s, there was a minister in Bloomington at the First Methodist Church. He wrote a book. It was entitled How to Become a Bishop Without Being Religious. Does anybody here think he ever became a bishop? He didn't. I think that book was the final nail in the coffin for his trajectory. It turns out, I hope my wife and I are still married because that's who married us. His daughter was at Illinois Wesleyan a year ahead of my wife and a year behind me. So we got to meet her also. He did appear on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson to talk about his book. It didn't help him. He still never became a bishop. Does anybody here know what is significant that happened in Covell? Let me ask a different question. Who in here knows where the heck Covell is? A minority. If you get go straight west, about 10 miles, and take a quick left. You'll come into the community, very small community of Covell. In a farm field, there's a little plaque that said, here is where Charles Lindbergh crashed his airplane on his mail route from St. Louis to Chicago. And that plaque is still there. So if you want to take a look sometime, just take a drive out there. It's not very big. You're going to have trouble finding it, but it'll be there. If I endeavor to do a fun facts 2, I would fill it with facts where there is some relationship to my wife and me. My wife grew up in Bloomington, so probably more to her than me. I told you about Charles Merrill Smith. Also on that yellow sheet, I'm colorblind, so I'm hoping that's yellow. Maybe it's orange. There is a note that Joe Dow had the #1 hit in the United States in 1961, Wooden Heart. Joe was one of my clients at Busey Bank. Let me share 2 fun facts that are not on those sheets. I think everyone here knows that Chris Coos is mayor of Normal and that Steve Stockton served 2 terms as mayor of Bloomington. What you might not know is Chris Coos was born in Bloomington, and Steve Stockton was born in Normal. So they flip-flopped. Steve Stockton, you might also like to know, was just, I think, automatically born to be a leader. He was born on the 4th of July. That was a start. His great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, Richard Stockton, signed the Declaration of Independence. The city in California, Stockton, was founded by one of his relatives. A past president of Princeton University was one of his relatives. And in case you didn't know it, I've never met anyone who has earned his MBA, has a law degree, and a CPA. Steve Stockton has all 3. The second fact that I would include in Fun Facts 2 is that Dr. J. Lewis Balin, who was my wife's pediatrician, when he was an intern at Cook County Hospital, pronounced public enemy #1. Do you remember when they used to do Public Enemies, some of your older folks? John Dillinger was Public Enemy #1 in 1934. When he was shot and wheeled into the Cook County Hospital, our Dr. Balin is the one who pronounced John Dillinger dead at 10:50 p.m. that evening. John Dillinger was 31 years old. We have lots and lots of interesting facts about McLean County. Some are on that first page. Maybe someday Bill Flick and I will get together and do page 2. You'll have some more. But I wanted to share some of those with you, particularly the board. A lot of things happen to make McLean County the great place it is, and it's up to you to make sure it gets better. So with that, I leave you. I thanks for listening. And if you didn't get one of those, I left some on the counter over here. So thank you very much, Lizzie.
Thank you. And before you go, I see that we've got McLean Stevenson here, was on MASH, and I did hear a rumor that the Rosie's Bar in MASH is a nod to our Rosie's next door. And I don't know if you've heard anything, or if you had heard anything about that, but I did hear that that was a nod to Bloomington.
It's a possibility. He did come to town, and he was hosted at the History Museum for a private reception, and he appeared at the Town of Normal with his sister, who's an actress, before he passed. So we did have an opportunity. And it turns out my wife's aunt worked for McLean Stevenson's father, who was a doctor in town. So we got all kinds of ways we connect up with people who have done great things and represented our county proudly. So we hope that all of you do the same. So thank you.
Thank you so much. So now we're going to turn over to, following the kind of history of McLean County, we're going to turn over to 6B. And this is something looking towards the future. This is a project that I've been interested in working on for many years now, and our IT department has been gracious in helping me kind of envision some changes and some upgrades, and Mr. Nelson's going to go over those with us. So this is the McLean County Website Agenda Center from Mr. Greg Nelson. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Chair. In a recent meeting, IT was meeting with county administration and the chair, and we are discussing some upcoming mandated changes that are facing governments in terms of website accessibility. And the goal is to achieve a specified level of accessibility on the website and in the social media presence by April of 2026. This comes out of a final rule that was issued by the Department of Justice, to which we need to subscribe. There's actually a resolution further down in your packet this evening that addresses that. At the end of our discussion, it was suggested that we share some of the upcoming changes and how we can improve our current processes in maintaining our website and other processes. And particularly tonight, we want to look at agendas. Now, in any organization, there are some employees who are hidden gems. My department has several of those, not the least of whom is Dan Leary, and he and I are going to play Freaky Friday here in a moment and switch places. Dan transferred into IT from the health department back in January of 22, right after COVID, in the newly established position of digital media coordinator. And in that role, he manages many components of our website, as well as our social media presence on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and others. He's the quiet and dependable, friendly face in the back who makes sure the batteries are freshly put in here at the beginning of each meeting, as he did tonight, and occasionally will coach people to turn their microphones on when needed. He also routinely updates our chat bot and works to QA our website on a regular basis. So now I'm going to ask Dan to come up, and I will trade places with him, and he will do the driving on the process that we're talking about this evening. Thank you.
All right, good evening, everybody, and Greg, thanks for that awesome intro. Before I get going here, guys, I will just let you know, my comfort zone is behind a camera, so if I don't speak as eloquently as what you're used to, I apologize in advance for that. But as Greg mentioned, we have some exciting things coming down the accessibility front. He talked about that at Exec on Monday, so if you haven't seen it, I recommend going out to YouTube and checking that out. Kind of running parallel to accessibility is this idea of usability and the user experience. So we've been looking at ways that we can improve on both fronts. And for some time now, we've realized that some improvements could be made in agenda management. So actually about a year ago this time, we were looking at rolling out a new agenda management solution, which unfortunately just didn't really align with our needs, with our workflows. So it was kind of back to the drawing board, which brings us to Agenda Center, which I am very excited to show you. Before we jump into that, let's just take a look at the current process. So if you want to find an agenda for a county board committee meeting, you come out to agendas and minutes. Right away, this is kind of archaic looking, not exactly user-friendly. So let's say I want to look at the agenda. I'd have to click on this, find the date. If there's stand-ups, I have to click on that. If I want to see attachments, that's another category. If I want to see or listen to the audio, that's another category. Once minutes are posted, if I want to look at those, whole other category. So there's a lot of clicking around, which is not ideal. So let's take a look. Oh, and not to mention YouTube, if you want to watch the stream, that's a completely opposite thing. You have to go back out to the main page. You're going to scroll down a little ways, watch meetings, go out to YouTube. Okay, now, oh, you can see we're live. Then you have to go down to live streams and actually search out the meeting that you're looking for. So let's take a look at the upcoming solution. Now again, this isn't live yet, but it will be soon. So this is called Agenda Center, and it's kind of right off the bat, you can see it's a lot more streamlined, easier on the eyes. And this is like a centralized hub for all of the different things that I just showed you that can be accessed in one place. So let's say I want to look for an executive committee meeting. Okay, cool. Here are my dates. I can click on this. I've got agenda, attachments right there. If I want to download it, I can come over here. Once minutes are posted or approved and posted, they're right there. Boom, all in one place. Audio. Got it. Easy peasy. And then that most difficult step of finding the video on YouTube. You don't have to go out to YouTube. You don't have to search anything. You'll just click on this button. It's going to tell you you're leaving our site. And it pulls up the exact meeting that you're looking for. So pretty huge improvement over the current process, but it gets even better than that. Well, I will show you kind of the layout. There's still a few boards that I need to import here, but we have county board and all of our county board committees are pinned to the top of the page here. Anything beyond that is just going to be in alphabetical order at the bottom. So say you're looking for a zoning board of appeals, that's going to be all the way at the bottom alphabetically. But let's say I want to find a specific word within an agenda. Just for the purposes of this, I'll say solar. There's a search functionality. Type in solar. Now, every single agenda that has that word solar in it comes up in your search results. You can see that it also shows results from minutes as well. So you can search for pretty much exactly what you need. You can get even a little bit more granular than that. You can narrow it down by category. I only want solar with county board, or I only want solar with executive, or I only want solar but within the past week. So there's a lot you can do with this, and it's pretty cool. Finally, I don't want to take up too much time, but before I step away here, this is one of the coolest features in my opinion. So kind of a dying breed, but if you still use RSS feeds, you can access that right here. You can have any of these categories show up in your RSS feed. Even better than that is this Notify Me. So if you click on this, you can look at all our different boards, committees, commissions, all that fun stuff, and you can actually sign up to receive text message or email alerts the moment that those agendas get posted. So yeah, again, didn't want to take up a whole lot of time tonight, just wanted to show you kind of this cool feature coming down the pipeline. We think it's an improvement, and excited going forward. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much, Dan. It is a very, very much needed improvement. I'm very excited about it, particularly for wonks like me who like to dig into meeting minutes and watching the videos. So I appreciate the work that you've done on that, and I look forward to using it once it goes live. Next up, we have item 7A, or 7 is the consent agenda, and I will need a motion. A motion by Member Hanson. Do I need a second? Second by Member Farley. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor of item 7, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. And with that, we will move on to our presentation. So Member Klaus, if you will bring up, and then we do have quite a few guests with us. So if you would like to join Member Klaus at the podium for the proclamation for Tamil Day.
All right, I'm Mark Klaus, and I have the honor of doing the proclamation. I have Krishna and Uma here with me, and they were kind enough to ask the committee to recognize and bringing this forward, so I'm happy to read the proclamation. McLean County Board proclamation proclaiming April 14th, 2025 as Tamil Day in McLean County. Whereas Tamil language is the longest surviving classical language in the world, with history exceeding 2,600 years, and whereas Tamil is an official language in India, Sri Lanka, and Singapore, as well as a minority language in Malaysia, South Africa, Mauritius, and Canada. The Tamil community is widespread with about 100 million native speakers across the globe, and whereas the McLean County Tamils have established a self-sustaining literacy model for the Tamil language through Tamil Language School called Abdul Kalam Tamil Pali. Over 175 children and more than 75 adult volunteers and national level standards since 2015. Completing 10 years in 2025, and whereas the Tamil community of McLean County contributes to bilingual literacy with Bloomington, Illinois, by achieving high school credits and seal of biliteracy for the Tamil language in high schools, and whereas McLean County Tamils have made contributions to the social, economic, and cultural fabric of McLean County, including promoting Tamil language, arts, culture, sports, education, and heritage. And whereas the Tamil community across the globe every year celebrates a 4-day-long Pongal festival starting on the first day of the Tamil calendar month, Thai, which is the January month in the English calendar. And whereas the Tamil community across the globe every year celebrates Tamil New Year on the first day of the traditional Tamil calendar, Chithari, which falls on April 14th in the English calendar. And whereas McLean County Tamils are committed to sharing their vibrant culture, richest traditions, and long-standing history with the people of McLean County by celebrating April 14th as Tamil Day. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the McLean County Board declares April 14th, 2025 as Tamil Day in McLean County, adopted today, April 17th, 2025. So now we'll give them a chance if they have a few comments they want to share. So Krishna, would you like, anything you'd like to add, or Uma, or anyone?
My name is Uma Balakrishnan. So I want to thank the McLean County Board for giving us this proclamation on behalf of all the Tamil community living here in Bloomington and Normal. So I just wanted to say the significance of Tamil community here. So you all know Indians, all of us coming from India. So India has so many different states. I'm sorry, I should know the states. I think it's 30 plus. But each of our state operates like its own country. We speak a different language. It is like going to another country, but that's how rich we are in culture and heritage. So Tamil Nadu is the southernmost state in India, and we all hail from Tamil Nadu, and we speak the language Tamil, which is considered probably one of the most oldest languages in the world. And there is a Harvard chair because they realize the significance of sending Tamil language to the next generations. So here we all are a team, and this is a special recognition for the Tamil community because we contribute a lot here in our community. So I have our community members say a few more words about the significance of it. So now you will know the Tamil community that is living in McLean County. So thank you so much for this recognition. We greatly appreciate it.
And if you could just let us know, the celebration was not on Tuesday. The celebration is actually coming up. And if you could let us know the details so that people can come and attend.
Absolutely. So as part of our initiatives in taking Tamil language to the next generation, we as a team, we are running a Tamil language school called Abdul Kalam Tamil Pali. So this is our 10th year. We completed 10 years here in our community, and we started with 40 kids. And right now we have 175 plus kids. We have 8 students graduating this year after completing 10 years of schooling. So on April 19th, which is this Saturday, we have a big celebration with cultural programs, big Indian dinner feast. So we welcome all of you, and I want to invite all of you, if you're available, to stop by. If you want to see any dance performances, our kids will be performing in the native language Tamil. So it's a very significant year for us because as a community, we started small, but now we are one of the growing communities communities and one of the biggest schools here in America. And I'll let my team members talk about a couple big initiatives that we have been doing here.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Leslie.
Good evening to good evening to one and all, and thank you very much for giving this opportunity, and thanks for recognizing one of the oldest language in the world, which has around 5,000 years of history, and it was a golden period during the Sangam literature, and we have been taught the essence of unity. I would like to explain a few things in our Tamil. We call it as Yadamure Yavaram Kelir, which was written in 2000 years back, which means that wherever you go in the world, feel like that is your hometown, and whoever you are meeting in the country, feel them like they are your brothers and sisters. So we have been taught with the essence of unity, and it's a great pleasure to be here, and we are very thankful for the Board of McLean County for recognizing this language. And as a part of this recognition, we are celebrating the Tamil Day in April 14th, and we are about to celebrate the month of Tamil in next January, and we are serving the community for more than 10 years as a part of Abdul Kalam Tamil Palli, and I'm one of the active volunteers who is serving like a teacher for more than 5 years. So it's a great pleasure to me to be here, and thanks for honoring our own of the oldest language. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for this great honor. It's a great recognition for our native language. In addition to what Uma and Arun covered, my name is Senthil. We do have a volunteer-run Tamil library that is also part of our Tamil school. We do gather at alternate weekends on Saturday. That has got more than 1,000 books, Tamil books, and please do come over to BJHS or BHS. We have a good schedule running on. Pick up some of the greatest literature that you have, which is more than 2,600 years old literatures. Go over it. You will enjoy the essence of it, definitely. In addition to that, we are collaborating with BPL and libraries to display Tamil books in BPL. Alongside, BPL is also collaborating with us. They are displaying their own books in our library. So as you can see, good collaboration between the public library and our own library. Want to say that in front of all of you guys. Please do come over. Please do visit us, visit our library. Thank you for this honor. Thank you.
All right, well, thank you all, and we'll turn it back to Lindsay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And just if you were making note, it's going to be this Saturday. The celebrations will run from about 1 to 6 p.m. out at the NCHS. So if you're interested in stopping by for some or all of it, you're definitely more than welcome to enjoy the performances. So moving on, we have item 8, standing committees. And 8A is Executive Committee with Vice Chair Rogel.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Executive Committee has 2 items tonight for action. 8A1A, which is request approval of an emergency appropriation ordinance amending the McLean County fiscal year 2025 combined annual appropriation budget ordinance for Fund 0007. And this vote requires a 2/3 county board approved pursuant to 55 ILCS 56-1003. And I so move.
All right, and can I have a second? Second by Member Zebarth. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor of item 8A1A, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And motion passes unanimously. Back to you, Vice Chair.
All right, next up we have 8A1B, which is request approval of an emergency appropriation ordinance amending the McLean County fiscal year 2025 combined annual appropriation and budget ordinance for Fund 0113. This also requires the 2/3 county board approval pursuant to 55 ILCS 5/6-1003, and I so move.
May I have a second? Second by Member Fagan. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor of item 8A1B, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
The Exec Committee has no other items for action. Our general report can be found on pages 19 through 25 of the unapproved minutes. I can answer any questions if anyone has any.
Thank you so much. Moving on, item 8B, Finance Committee, and that is Member Lehman.
Thank you very much, Chair Johnston. The Finance Committee has 3 items to be presented for action this evening. Starting off, we have item 8B1A, the request approval of an ordinance for the McLean County Board amending the 2024 Combined Annual Budget and Appropriation Ordinance. This requires a 2/3 County Board approval pursuant to 55 ILCS 56-1003, and I so move.
May I have a second? Second by Member Hanson. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor of 8B1A, say aye. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Back to you, Member Lehman.
Continuing on, item number 8B1B is the request approval of an ordinance of the McLean County Board amending the 2025 Combined Annual Budget and Appropriation Ordinance, requiring a 2/3 County Board approval pursuant 55 ILCS 56-1003, and I so move.
May I have a second? Second by Member Farley. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor of item 8B1B, say aye. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. And back to you, Member Lehman.
Last item for action is 8B1C, the request approval of an ordinance by the McLean County Board amending Chapter 205 Fees, Article 11, Miscellaneous Code Fees, Section 205-32 in the McLean County Code, and I so move.
And may I have a second? Second by Member Fagan. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor of item 8B1C, say aye. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Back to you, Member Lehman.
Thank you again, Madam Chair. The Finance Committee has items to be presented for information tonight in the way of our general report, being on pages number 15 through 18. And as you heard Mr. Fazzini reference earlier today, that we're excited to say the new animal control facility is on schedule and will be ready to go for a late July opening. I've heard there's paint on the walls, there's cement that has been poured, so we're really excited to continue to see that progress. Thank you to all in administration as well as the folks who have been working so hard on this project.
This is very exciting. I'm looking forward to having more space, both for staff, for management, but also for the animals. And I think this is a good step forward. All right, moving on. Item 8C is Health Committee, and that is Member Byrne.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Health Committee brings 1 item for action tonight, item 8C1A, to request approval of emergency appropriation ordinance amending the McLean County fiscal year 2025 combined annual appropriation and budget ordinance for Fund 0112. This requires a 2/3 vote, and I so move.
May I have a second? Second by Member Hanson. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor of item 8C1A, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Back to you, Member Byrne.
Thank you, Madam Chair. A general report can be found in the attached documentation. A couple of items of public interest. Happy National Public Health Week last week. Would also like to congratulate Jenna Smith, a diabetes educator with the McLean County Health Department, who was recently awarded the 2025 McLean County Public Health Award. So some positive news there. Unfortunately, we are starting to see some of the damage caused by the federal government in McLean County. There are 2 grants, one affecting the Ecology Action Center and one affecting the Health Department, were recently terminated. The Health Department grant funds the county's epidemiologist position, which is very self-evident. While this is being challenged in court, this is something we will continue to monitor and be mindful of. Special thanks to Administrator Jessica McKnight for her advocacy.
Thank you, and we'll be watching that because that does affect next year's budget cycle. So hopefully we'll get some word soon on that. Moving on, item 8D, and that is back to Vice Chair Rogal with Justice Committee.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Justice Committee has 2 items for action tonight. 8D1A is request approval of an Illinois Court Technology Modernization Program funding agreement, and I so move.
May I have a second? Second by Member Farley. Comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor of item 8D1A, say aye. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Back to you.
Next up, we have 8D1B, request approval of an emergency appropriation ordinance amending the McLean County fiscal year 2025 combined annual appropriation and budget ordinance for Fund 0001, Circuit Court Department. This requires a 2/3 county board approval pursuant to 55 ILCS 5-6-1003, and I so move.
May I have a second? Second by Member Hanson. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor of item 8D1B, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
The Justice Committee has no other items to be presented for action. Our general report can be found on pages 11 through 14 of the unapproved minutes. I can answer any questions if anyone has any.
Thank you, Vice Chair Rogal. Moving on, item 8E, and that is Property Committee with Member Abel.
Thank you so much. The Property Committee does not have any items to be presented for action, but our general report can be found in the unapproved minutes packet. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Item 8F, Land Use and Transportation Committee, Member Klein.
Thank you so much, Chairwoman Johnston. The Land Use and Transportation Committee has no items to present for action this evening. We do have our general report in the unapproved minutes, pages 2 to 4. And I would just say it's roadwork season, everybody. So you'll start to see lots of evidence of all of these things that we've passed pretty soon, wherever you are in the county.
Mm-hmm. Just a reminder to take extra caution as you're seeing the crews out there to protect the crews, protect yourself, and everybody get home safely. Moving on, item 8G, and that is County Administrator, Ms. Taylor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have no items to present this evening.
Okay, thank you. Moving on, item 9, other business and communication. I would just like to remind the members of the board that if you are not going to be able to make your committee meeting, please do try to give us at least a 24-hour notice. We were having some quorum issues last week when I was in Indiana. If I had known in advance, I could have made adjustments to my schedule and been back. But thankfully, Vice Chair was able to leave work and get there to get the meetings done and get the work done. So if you know something's coming up, if you know you're going to have a conflict, please reach out and let us know so that we can make sure we have a quorum and keep the business moving. Is there any other business or communication from the board? Yes, Vice Chair Rogal.
Yeah, just briefly, I wanted to mention a little expansion on what Member Klein mentioned. Next week is actually Work Zone Safety Awareness Week. As she mentioned, road work is beginning. This is a very dangerous time of year for people that work on our roads and build our roads. We see too many people driving quickly through them. We've luckily been safe the last few years. We haven't had anybody hit in McLean County or killed on the roadways since 2000 and I think 19. But every year it's a struggle. So please be careful going forward. Also, April 28th is Worker Memorial Day. Every year we stop early in the morning on April 28th and remember the people who've died in McLean County on the job. Every year, usually, people meet at White Oak Park and read off the names of over 1,000 people who've died on the job in McLean County, including all the asbestos workers that worked here in McLean County. So that's all I have.
And what time do they meet at White Oak? That's always the question.
6 a.m.
6 a.m. It is chilly most years, so dress warmly, because even if it gets warm later that day in the morning at 6 a.m., it's quite chilly. So if you're going to come, dress appropriately. Any other business or communication from the board? Yes, Member Hanson.
I wanted to share with the board that not this Saturday, but next Saturday is a big fundraising event for the Child Protection Network, Dueling Pianos. It's a lot of fun, but more importantly, the Child Protection Network grants funds to our CASA and CAC programs, and so it's an awesome opportunity to support a nonprofit that supports us. So that's my little bit.
Thank you so much. Any other communications from the board? Yes, Member Lehman.
Just one heads up in case it might have been bypassed in the packet. Spring brings forth a lot of Canadian geese. And just to remind folks, Canadian geese are in fact a protected species that you are not able to touch, harass the geese or their nests as you see them in public. So just a heads up there. I've seen folks being a little aggressive with vehicles. Just want to give the heads up and make sure everybody is aware of our migratory friends.
Thank you so much, Member Lehman. Anyone else? Any other communication? Seeing none, this meeting is adjourned.